Great. So we have here our speaker, Mary Etokudo. She's an AI with over 7 years of experience across various fields of tech space, ranging from development, machine learning. So she's also a machine learning engineer and artificial intelligence engineer. She began her career in Nigeria and has worked on platforms like Indeed, where she led engineering team building high impact digital products. She was actually my then. Yeah. She's now based in London, UK. She works at Intel Technology, a fintech startup where she builds generative privacy preserving AI solutions. So if you've been hearing AI and you've not met her, that is building one right here with you. So she's part of AI's AI solution. Mary is also a passionate mentor and community leader. She's actively contributing to Google Developer Group, for short known as GDG, London, and supporting underrepresented in tech through workshops, public speaking, and educational content creation. She's also a content creator on YouTube where she creates tech content. Yeah, and she loves public speaking like this. So let's for Mary, though I want to see her flying. Let's welcome her in a grand style while she takes the stage as we listen to her this morning. She's one of the people I got tech, and I'm sure that everyone here will have to the same at the end of this webinar. So Mary, we welcome you have the stage.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tech Eagle community. Tech Eagle has really spoken so much about me. I don't know what to say again, but thanks everyone for joining and thanks for this opportunity. I am actually always looking forward to encouraging people, speaking to people that are about to get into tech, already in tech, but trying to figure things out. So I'm happy to be here. I'm going to be turning on my video, and I wish some people could turn on theirs, but I understand if it's going to affect your network, and that's fine. Then I'm also going to share my screen because I have a presentation that would guide the flow of the entire conversation. Technically, do we how many more minutes do we have for the entire session?
Did you say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I was asking how many minutes do we have left for the session?
Okay, no, you can go ahead, please. You can go ahead. We've spent a lot of time trying to join, but I wouldn't want that to cut the session, please.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Let me share this. How did I share slides again? Let me see. Oh, okay, slideshow. All right, so navigating career transition as a woman in tech. I'm a woman in tech, and I've actually also had the opportunity to have different career transition stages, work with different companies and all. So I believe I can speak on this topic and help people to gain clarity and, make decisions based on whatever I share today. Okay, so first of all, I want to understand like where. Oh, about me. Tech Eagle already shared it about me. I don't need to go over that anymore. But yeah, I'm currently an AI engineer working with Silo Technology here in London, a fintech startup. But I started my career in Nigeria, like she already said. I would like to understand like the kind of audience we have, where you guys are joining from. So just drop a message in the comments. Don't just say Nigeria. You can say, oh, what city you're joining from, and I would really appreciate that. I am joining from London. Thank you. So I'm just gonna check the comments. Lagos, Lagos, Abuja. Okay, you're welcome. I actually lived in Lagos and Abuja for some. Okay, I lived in Lagos more because I grew up in Lagos. Then I lived in Port Harcourt. I schooled in Port Harcourt. Then I lived in Calabar, my NYSC. Then I also lived in Abuja for like a year. So welcome everybody from Oshobo, Ibadan, Owerri, Kaduna. Oh, really good. Software favor joining from Lagos. Okay, good. All right. Welcome everyone. Okay, so since we're talking about ambitions and career progression, I would just like to give some detailed info about how mine has been so far because it's been a long journey. And first of all, I started my tech journey on web development in Lagos, and that was in 2018. That was the year I started learning. I'd taken some courses in programming some years back because I was doing engineering in my undergraduate, so did one or two here and there. But in 2018, I started officially. Then 2019, I joined the Kagon Institute, which is actually where I met Mary, Tech Eagle. And um, I started working at Indeed in 2020, which was quite early in my career. And I actually, appreciate that opportunity a lot because it helped me to gain a wider perspective to what a tech career feels like when you're working on a global platform. I also became a team leader while working on that role. Then in 2022, I came to London to do my MSc in data science, and that was like a major transition for me career-wise. Then in 2023, by the time I was graduating, I joined AI startup called Demi.ai, was into skin issues detection like acne and all that. I was a computer vision engineer there. Then in 2024, I joined my current company as AI engineer. Okay, so one more thing I want from you guys, like tell me what your transition story is, whether you're coming from a non-technical field and you're still like in the middle of the transition, or you already transitioned, like where did you come from, what are you doing at the moment? So you can just drop a message from sales to engineering, from cloud to QA, or from product design to web development. Just let me know. While you're doing that, I would like to also mention that before 2018, when I joined the tech industry, I was doing sales. So I did engineering in my undergraduate, and I wanted to work with oil companies because I studied petroleum engineering. But the job was not forthcoming. Sometimes you do so well in life, like you prepare yourself so well, but something just happens and things don't work out like the way you thought they were going to, and that is fine. So there's nothing wrong with switching careers because you felt like the other one was not giving you what you wanted. That's absolutely fine. And I'm glad I switched, even though I wish I had actually gotten that experience then. So yeah. Okay, so from petroleum engineering BNG, after I graduated, I started doing sales while waiting for my dream oil company job. So I had like 3 sales jobs before I finally figured out that maybe I should just try this tech thing, and I tried it and I really liked it, and I don't think I'm going to anywhere anytime soon. Yeah. So let me see the comment section. Okay, Victoria says from non-tech background to QA, good. I would have preferred if you mentioned like what the non-tech background was. Adeni, food microbiologist to software quality assurance. That sounds like something that I would expect. Yeah, because if you're a microbiologist, I can imagine that you're actually doing QA of food, stuff like that. I may be wrong though. I'm not claiming to know what you were doing. Okay, food science to tech, project management, product design, biochemistry to software testing, and favor mass communication to QA. All right, welcome to Tech, everybody. This is a very accommodating field, very welcoming. You can, like, there are so many things you can actually do here. You don't need to write code if you don't want to. Okay, so back to my presentation. One of my favorite quotes, things that actually guide me as a person, in my career, in life generally, I believe that whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. And that means that even while I was doing the jobs that were not like my dream jobs, I tried as much as possible to do them well. While I was doing sales, even though like back then, I didn't like talking, I didn't like selling anything. I don't want to sell things. I just want to build. I just want to work with machines. That's it. I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. You guys just leave me alone. Yeah, but when I got into sales, and I mean it was putting food on my table, so I felt that okay, if I'm here, I'm going to do it well, and that's one of the things that has guided me through life. And then I realized that by the time I was finally getting into tech, some of the skills I had picked up as a salesperson were very relevant in the field. Okay, so do's and don'ts when it comes to transitioning from different fields in tech. First of all, start with what you know. Maybe the skills you have, the tools that you already know how to use, the technologies you already know how to use. For instance, if you're coming from a non-technical background, probably have good soft skills. For example, you're a great communicator, you're a great salesperson, or you're a very empathetic person, so you like to put yourself in other people's shoes and try to, see their pain points. Those things, by the time you're in tech, you realize that those things are actually very important. So don't just abandon everything that you already knew or assume that they're not relevant. No, they are. So once you're able to outline those skills that you already had, if they are not technical, you should understand that they're actually going to be relevant by the time you start building products, because you're building products for humans. You're not building app for computers. You're building apps that humans would use. So, but yeah, then if you're coming from a technical field and you are switching to another field, you should probably like tell yourself, okay, I understand JavaScript already, so where else would JavaScript be relevant? I know Python. I was using Python to do maybe testing, automation, and now I want to go into AI. Python is still very much relevant. So you have somewhere, you already have something to start with, and that is very important for you to like understand where you are. Then be intentional, focus on skills aligned with your new path. Don't be everywhere. Like, understand people like to experiment. If you're experimenting, know that you're experimenting, and give a time box of, okay, I'm going to try this thing out for like 2 weeks, a month, and see if I like it. But like, don't be that all through your career, like just being everywhere. Try to, be intentional, try to focus on whatever it is that you want to do. Also, build publicly, share your projects, your learning journey, your insights. And I didn't used to be so big on social media. like I said, I was never really a people person. I just, wanted to do my own stuff. I used to imagine myself as that, um, when you are watching sci-fi movies, that person that is just in one corner, just doing our own thing, and. But then if you do that in 2025, you are going to miss out on a lot of opportunities, and people may not even see you. I mean, everybody is screaming, I'm a superstar, I'm a superstar, and then you are just there in one corner. You will likely miss out on opportunities that you actually need, and that would actually, give you the kind of dreams that you've had as a person. So please share your projects, your learning journey, your insights online. Make the noise, because you already have something to back it up. Some people are just making the noise and they have nothing to back it up, but you have something to back it up with. So yeah, build publicly, share online, network strategically. I For me, networking is actually very important. I understand that some people, feel like people are overdoing it and all that. I can assure you that personally, I don't think I'm overdoing networking, because I know where I'm coming from, I know where I'm going to, and I know how intentional I am about networking. So you need to be intentional about the kind of communities that you join. You need to be intentional about the kind of meetups and events that you are going for, and don't force introducing yourself to people or meeting people. Find people that have similar interests, and then you can walk up to them and introduce yourself and talk to them. And at this point, I would like to give an example of something that happened in my career. I had just moved to the UK. I was in my master's program, and I was actually trying to get a job in tech, but it was difficult for so many reasons I wouldn't want to go into for now. But it was difficult for me, but I had the opportunity to attend really good events. Someone reached out to me and invited me to an event at JP Morgan, which is one of the big financial institutes in London. And I went for that event. And one of the speakers was building an AI tool for for skin issues, dermatological issues, and all that. And since she said she was in AI, and I listened to her speak. Like, I was interested in what she was saying. I wasn't just waiting for her to finish so that I can go and greet her and say hello and take fine pictures with her. No, I listened to what she was saying. I found, places that I could contribute if given the opportunity to join her company. So when she was done speaking, I walked up to her and told her, these are the skills I have. This is what I'm doing in the UK currently. I like what you said. I like what you're building. I feel I'm going to be able to contribute to what you're building. If I'm giving the opportunity to join you. So she told me, send me an email or drop a message on LinkedIn. I did that. And in about 3 weeks, I joined her company. That was my first official role in the UK as a computer vision engineer. You see how strategic my networking was? I wasn't talking to everybody. I was still my reserved self, but I was able to, reach out to people that I felt we have something in common. Okay. You can also do that when you're looking for mentors. Explain yourself, tell them what you want, tell them why you're approaching them, why you think they're likely, like why you think that they're the right person to mentor you in that particular field. And I think the person will be interested in listening to you. Also, tailor your story. This is especially applicable to when you're writing your CVs. I do not encourage lying or faking things. People have smart ways they do that, but I do not encourage that. What I encourage is, if you're writing about your past roles or projects that you've worked on, try to flesh out relevant experiences, try to flesh out relevant skills that match whatever new role that you're trying to apply for, or whatever whatever you want people to see you as. You want people to see you as a QA engineer. You need to be emphasizing that, oh, before I even joined QA, I was already like that person that has eye for details. Before I joined QA, I was that person that I criticize a lot. Like, it's my superpower to, find faults where there are no faults. So yeah, like, just ensure that your story you're being intentional about telling your story. Okay. And be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Celebrate your progress, the progress that you've made. You got a certification, you took a course, share them, celebrate them, and remind yourself that this thing will actually take time, and I don't know how long it will take, but I'm going to, be here. Also, what you shouldn't do, if you are doing it, you should stop. First of all, don't compare yourself or your journey to others. Everyone's path is different. While comparison can be good, it can also be done from the wrong context, or it can also be demoralizing. And I like using LinkedIn as an example. When you go on LinkedIn, you see people celebrating their wins, which I actually just advised you to do. Now, don't start looking at people's wins and be like, oh my God, I'm such a dollar. Like, why am I not achieving these things that these people are achieving? You know that some people are actually faking the wins, first of all. And also, because your journey is different, because your path is different, you may not be achieving those wins in a way that other people are achieving them. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. It's just your journey. So understand what you're doing, understand where you're coming from, understand where you're going to, and measure your progress based on these factors, and not based on what other people are doing or what they are claiming to be doing. Don't wait to feel fully ready before you start applying for jobs. So this is very helpful if you're actually starting your career in tech and you're taking a boot camp or taking a course. Don't wait till the end of that course or to the end of that boot camp to start, looking out for jobs or applying for jobs. What I advise people to do is, before the end of your program, go on LinkedIn or whatever platform you're using to apply for jobs. Start looking for those jobs that are like your dream jobs or your goals, like jobs that you want to get. Be looking at the requirements. That will help you to understand the kind of skills that you need to acquire or that you need to brush up on. So if you're looking at those job adverts and you see the kind of soft skills that they're asking people to have, then it helps you to understand that this thing is required in this field, and I need to acquire the skill, or I need to brush up on that skill. Also, job application is actually a full-time job. I've had some really challenging experiences with job application, and I know how demanding it can be of your time, your effort. I know how rejections can be. So if you start early, then you gain experience. If you start looking for job early, you gain experience on where to even find the jobs in the first place. By the time you start interviewing, gain experience on the kind of questions that interviewers are asking. So by the time you're finishing your program, or you're finishing that course that you're taking, or that degree that you're taking, you already have some experience to put into the more job applications that you're doing. That is if you've not gotten the job by that time. So yeah, start at the middle of your journey of your program. Don't rely on only courses, do projects. So it's not enough to take courses like just YouTube tutorials, or courses on Udemy, or boot camps programs. Try to build projects, because it's those projects that you build that you'll be able to show publicly. So that aligns with what I said earlier about building publicly and sharing your story. So if you don't have anything to share, then it will be very difficult for you to actually share or say things on social media. And then you start putting pressure on yourself to lie or to fake things. So build projects, post them, even if nobody uses it. I'm not asking you to build big applications and ask people to use it. No, you're not starting up a company. I said that's what you want to do. You want to build, you want to become a founder. No, that's not what I'm saying. Just for example, if you're a software engineer, you can build something and share it on GitHub. You don't even need to buy a domain name or start spending money. No, you can share things on GitHub. You can share things on different platforms depending on what field you are into. And if it's something that is not technical, you can write articles about it and share. Okay. And even if you feel like nobody is seeing what I'm sharing, your aim is not content creation. Your aim is building a tech career. So like stay focused. Don't bother too much on whether you're having 100 views or 1,000 views. Very importantly, don't ignore your soft skills. Don't just be that engineer that just wants to code or just wants to do technical stuff. It's important to improve on your communication skills. If I didn't improve on my communication skills or develop my communication skills, I won't be having this talk and I'll not be able to, encourage people or tell people my story to inspire them. So I'm being more impactful, being more relevant in the tech industry because I worked on my communication skills. Teamwork is also very important, curiosity, leadership. Even when you're not ready, I mean, it's not like you're about to become the CTO of the company. You can start small from maybe leading a team, okay? And you can even be doing it without having a title to your name. And that was actually how I started. That was how I got my first leadership role at Indeed. I was a very curious software engineer. I asked a lot of questions. I was interested in the business of the company. So I think by the time my engineering manager was looking for someone to lead the team, I was like the preferred candidate for that role. So yeah, improve on your soft skills. Don't isolate yourself. I already talked about networking, join a community like the Tech Eagle community, seek mentorship. I believe the Tech Eagle community also offers mentorship. So don't be that software engineer that likes to sit in the dark, okay? Now, mindset shifts that help. I'm just going to take a cup of water. So one of the things that has helped me as a person to make remarkable progress in my career is my mindset. So whenever I'm working, I don't have this mindset of it'll be my papa job. I can't put my all in this. I can't come and kill myself for these people. Why that is good for some people, it's not good enough for me, because what that would do to me and to anybody that does that is you're not going to be present. And when you're not present, you're not going to do your job well. I talked about earlier how I became a team leader at Indeed. If I was that software engineer that had that attitude of it's not be my papa business. I don't know how I'm going to say that in English. It sounds better in pidgin. Not be my papa business, that kind of thing. If you're having that mindset, then you are not going to really do well in your job, and it may cause stunted growth for you in your career. Okay. Okay, starting with what I have in my slides, actually. Learn to value progress over perfection. Life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So value progress, whatever progress you're making per time, record it. You can also share the progress that you've made. Oh, I acquired this skill recently, I took this course recently. Apart from the courses and the skills you are trying to acquire, also in your job, if you have a job already, whatever progress that you're making, maybe your engineering manager is giving you better feedback compared to when you started. Take note of those things and appreciate the progress that you're making. Appreciate yourself, appreciate the growth, and don't just focus on the big deal or the thing that you've always wanted to be, or maybe your goal is to become an engineering manager, or your goal is to become a leader in some capacity. Don't wait until you get into that role before you feel like you are doing well, okay? Yeah, so like I said already, you should value growth. And from the point of view of imposter syndrome, I know people deal with it a lot and people talk about it a lot. if you're having imposter syndrome, just take out time to reflect on why you're having that imposter syndrome. And if you feel like you are missing out on a particular skill and that is why you're not doing well in your job, maybe try to acquire that skill. Maybe try to spend more time, studying so that you can get that skill. Also, it's important for you to get feedback from other people. When I became a team leader at Indeed, it was kind of tough for me because I had about just a year of experience in tech, and I was like, oh my god, like what's going on here? This is too early. I'm feeling so like I feel like I'm not even ready. And because I'm not even a people person, this is really hard for me. So what I did was to speak to my engineering manager and I asked him that what made him feel like I was the right person for the role. And by the time he told me everything, I'm like, oh wow, I'm actually a superstar. I didn't feel like that before I asked, but asking helped me to, understand what was going on. And before this particular session, when Mary reached out to me and said, oh, I would love you to come speak to my people. I asked her like, why are you picking me? Why are you choosing me? So I asked a lot of why, not that I'm challenging the person, or I think Nigerians, when you ask them why, they're like, they're scared. Like it feels like an attack. Why is not always an attack? It can be for the person to get clarity. So when I asked her why, and I said, okay, this is the reason why I'm asking you why. And then she mentioned all the things that make me a superstar. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. So yeah, that helps with dealing with imposter syndrome. Then also the way you take feedback matters. Don't look at them as, oh, I failed in this thing, that's why I'm getting this kind of feedback. No, the person actually wants you to be better or do better. So take it as a feedback and not as a failure. My second favorite quote is, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Sometimes when you look at some people's tech career, you feel like, oh, these people are actually lucky. Maybe they are lucky, but if they were not at the right place at the right time, then you wouldn't be saying that they are lucky, because they will definitely miss out on that opportunity. So ensure that you are prepared, acquire all those skills, like burn the midnight candle, burn the midnight oil, study hard, prepare yourself so that when the opportunity comes up, you are ready. When I was speaking to the first person that's hired me in the UK, I was able to talk because I already prepared myself. I was already doing something in computer vision, and I'd acquired so many skills during my master's degree program. So when I approached her to ask for an opportunity, I was prepared. And I didn't see it as I was lucky. I saw it as I was prepared, and the opportunity showed up, and I took advantage of that opportunity. Okay, so common questions about transition. Before we go on with this, I want to take a break and ask if anybody has any question. I'll be looking at the comment section to see if you have any question. Just drop your question in the comment section. I think my slides are almost done. So don't look at my questions, ask your question and see. Does anyone have any question?
Yeah, so please, if you have questions, you can drop it in the chat.
Yeah, you
And
can also pick up the mic to ask.
or you can also speak. Yes, please. If you have questions, you can speak.
You can raise your hand if you have a question.
Yeah, there's a hand raise.
Or you tell me, how's the session been? Has it been insightful? Has it been inspiring?
Okay, I don't know if you see the emojis.
Yeah, I can see that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, you guys actually want me because I already told you I have questions I want to answer. Okay, let's go. Let's go then. Mm,
Okay, Franklin said the how your story is inspiring. Thank you. Favor says yes, please. It's been very inspiring. So
okay,
yeah.
that's good to know. Thanks for the feedback. All right, so let's start with questions. So first question on my list, am I too late to switch into tech or start a new role? The answer is no, because change is, life is all about change, and people switch careers all the time, people switch roles all the time, and people actually also take a career break, maybe to go to school or anything. So it's not too late. You just have to be intentional about whatever it is you're doing. Do I need a computer science degree to work in AI or data science? Um, you don't need a computer science degree, but you need background knowledge in computer science. So if you didn't study computer science officially in a university, that should not deter you from pursuing a career in tech or in any field in tech. But what you need to know is that you actually still need that knowledge. So you can get that knowledge in any other way, maybe through a short course, an online course, a boot camp. Um, yeah, you need the knowledge, but you don't need the degree. You don't need to, like, it's not compulsory for you to get that degree. Then if somewhere along the line you feel like, oh, I actually need to get a degree, then that's fine, because that's what I did. I didn't have a computer science degree, but at some point I felt like, okay, I'm going to go for my master's in data science. So that works as well. How do I gain experience when I'm starting over? Build projects, um, volunteer. So I forgot to mention that the computer vision role I got after speaking to the lady I met at the tech event, it started as a volunteer opportunity. And then I did it for about a month, and she saw my skills. And then we moved from volunteering to paid. And the payment started progressively. It was a startup and they probably didn't have so much money. So I just took advantage of that opportunity. And I have it in my CV. And I didn't put it anywhere in my CV that it didn't start as a paid role. Nobody cares. Yeah. Contribute to open source projects, and maybe build personal case studies that showcase your skills. For example, you are a UI/UX designer. I hear UI/UX designers talking about case studies a lot. So work on that and share whatever it is that you're building. Will recruiters take me seriously if I've had a career break or change paths? Yes, they will take you seriously, but you need to convince them that you weren't just wasting your time when you took the career break or when you change paths. Like, what were you doing? And for the fact that I'm talking to mostly women, most of us on this call are women. Some women like to take a career break to maybe start a family, or maybe you even did you went on a maternity leave. Don't just leave the space blank on your CV. Say what you were doing within that period of time, and talk about the skills that you were able to acquire within that period of time, if it's something like a study break that you took, or a course break that you took. Don't just leave it blank, talk about it. And yeah, they will take you seriously. How do I say no when asked to switch a role at work? I added this question because I've actually done this before. I've said no to switching a role at work before, and I'm going to tell the story and tell you why I said no. Let me just see how much time. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. So what happened was that I had started my I was starting my tech career. This was before I became a team leader at Indeed. I was working on a project, and I had finished that particular project. It lasted for about a few months. I had finished that particular project and I didn't have anything doing at that point. So one of my engineering managers reached out to me and was like, we need somebody to do something for us. And since you're not doing anything, would like you to handle it. I said, okay, what's it? I was supposed to pick up a particular tool, a no-code, low-code tool. I think it's called AppGyver, something like that. And I was supposed to QA it and find out how suitable it is for the company to use in building mobile applications. So that was the task. I picked it up, did my work on it, tried to come up with various scenarios and tested out, the application, tested out how it works and all that. Then at the end, I wrote a detailed report on what I think about the tool, how well it performed, how badly it performed, the different scenarios and all that. And I submitted my report. And the good thing is that the people reviewing the reports were so impressed. They were like, oh, this person will do well as a QA engineer. And since we're about to start a QA team for this particular product we are building, maybe we should ask her to join the QA team. So somebody reached out to me and was like, oh, we'd like you to join the QA team for this product we have been. I'm like, that's not a bad idea, but it's actually not what I want to do at this stage in my career. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing a QA role, but what happened was that I had started my career as a web developer, and I was picking up some skills. I was feeling so lost that I wasn't even sure about what I was doing. So I was in that place mentally, and I felt like I needed to work more on the skills the skills I had at that time. And that was actually helped my confidence as a person, as a software engineer. So telling me to switch roles felt like adding more confusion to whatever is already going on in my head. And I didn't think I wanted to do QA at then. So I had like lots of reasons. So I had to explain everything to the person that reached out to me. I said, at this time, I wouldn't want to, but if it's really important, I don't mind, but I will appreciate if you leave me in software engineering. So that was what I did. And the person came back and said, okay, that's fine if you want to remain in software engineering. So that was how I was able to say no. So I didn't just say no, and that was it. Because that would sound like being, that can come off as insubordination if you're not careful. And you can actually lose your job because of that. So mind the way you say the no and explain your reasons, and the person should be able to understand. Okay. So next steps, what do you do after now? Reflect on what excites you, what energizes you, what you actually want to do as a person, where you are in your career, where you're coming from, where you're going to, and why do you even want to transition in the first place? If you're coming from a non-technical background and you are about to start your career in tech, why? Are you just here for the money? If that's the reason, that's fine. But you need to be sure that you are doing something that you have some level of connection to. And that connection can be in terms of skills. That connection can be in terms of previous experience. Okay. Pick one skill course project to commit to this month or this year, depending on how long the course is. Share your journey, like I always say. Find a tribe, a community. The Tech Eagle community is really a good one to belong to. And I personally, I have belonged to like different communities at different stages in my career. Right now, I am with GDG London and also Women Tech Network. So find your tribe, find what a community, okay? Find me on LinkedIn. You can just use the username Unique Coda. I'm unique. I see myself as a unique person. So yeah, UNIQCODA. So that is my handle. Thank you very much, everyone.
What are you get? Okay, I mean, I was going to say, after all this knowledge shared, somebody is clapping.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Please, 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 let's have all the clapping, all the flowers coming. Thank you. All right, so we have a couple of questions in the comments session. Mary, maybe you'd like to respond to them. I think we have two questions. And if you have questions for her, if you're just starting in career in tech, you're already a professional, you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask her. She's here. So please, yeah.
Yes,
Mm,
see the questions in the comment section. From the last one that says, how do I manage QA without coding? I've been struggling with it, but not really getting there. I'll leave that for Technical to answer after I answer the one before it. So she's in a better position to answer that. Next question, I would like to know how you manage career with marriage and motherhood. So I'm not married, I'm very much single, but I can still answer that question. Motherhood, yes, I'm a single mom, and I started my tech career not when my child was still a toddler, but more like she was already about 8 or 9 years old. So I had passed that stage where maybe the child needs a lot of attention. There are like different stages of motherhood. There's that stage where you actually take a break, maybe a maternity leave. And I've seen women actually start their tech career during their maternity leave because they feel like, okay, despite the fact that I'm supposed to, give all my attention to this particular phase of my life, I can, bring out some time to learn a skill or two. So you can create out time no matter what stage that you are in motherhood. Also, I had a support system. I had a very supportive family. So you may want to like check out what kind of people you have around you, what support system you have around you. So you are not the only person responsible for your children. Marriage, I do not think that marriage should come between you and your career. I think the only thing that actually does that is motherhood, and I'm going to explain. For marriage, I mean, you were a person before you got married. You had things you were doing before you got married. You had a daily routine before you got married. So I mean, I'm not married, but I want to assume that when you get married, you still are able to do the things, whatever it is that you're doing. So take as an example, house chores. Were you cooking or were you not cooking before you got married? The person you're getting married to, were they cooking or were they not cooking? Were they eating or were they not eating before they got married? Like, I believe that your daily routine does not necessarily have to change dramatically because you got married. But then when you become a mother, a lot of things would likely change. And also, if you become a father, a lot of things will change because you have a new human being, an entire human being in the picture, and they need attention from you. So that's the one I actually think may contribute to you not being able to give your time fully to your career. But you should understand that you should understand that it's just a phase. Maybe your baby is still your child is still a baby, and you may want to give them more attention at that stage. But like I already said, my child was already like 8 or 9 years old. So they weren't necessarily tied to me at that point. They go to school and I had relatives to help me with taking care of them as well. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer that question.
Yeah, I think so. I think the same person that asked the question, your hand is up, Ganiat. Do you have more questions or a follow-up question?
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be part of this webinar today, and then I really appreciate the organizers for coming up with this insightful, um, and interesting and more communicative webinar. Thank you so much for that. The tech. Now to our speaker, I really appreciate you, and then thank you so much for giving us a share from your wealth of experience. I really appreciate that. So in the background, you actually hear this little creature speaking and disturbing me. So there are times that it just gets to me somehow when you have a target in your to-do list and
Yeah.
then you are not able to kind of achieve that due to the fact that you have this creature to cater for. You
Yeah.
understand? So that was what prompted the question, and I'm so sorry if in any way it got you somehow. So just say, yeah, thank you. So you answered the question well, and I really appreciate you for that. So I think I'll just look into how I can get support efficiently
Yeah.
so that I'll be able to deal with um, the aspect. So thank you so much. I really enjoyed this webinar anyway. Thank you.
You're welcome, Daniela. I think Mary may be able
And then
to
this boy is also up for anybody that wants